It's time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by Habish, and Rotiers. Sunny conditions today with a high of 30 degrees. It's currently 26 degrees here in Milwaukee.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't God that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
This one driven to right. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball. And a two-run home run for Tyler Black.
It's a great swing for Tyler.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to show this spring.
That looked like a breaking ball that stayed up and in on him, and he turned on it. Wow. I had no doubter that time.
3-2 pitch, runners go. And a line drive back up the middle, a base hit. That'll score at least two. They'll send Perkins around third. And the throw goes to second base. It's a 3-run single for Tyler Black.
About his day, 5 RBIs. Yikes. Have a day, and we're in the third inning.
2-0, line down the right field line. Another hit for Tyler Black. Scoring is Badu. And Black motors into second base with another RBI hit, this time a double. He's driven in all 6 for the Brewers.
Tyler Black 6, the A's nothing. Wow, what a game.
From the first live stream of spring training, our friends Jeff Levering, Rock, and Sophia Minert, Brewers.tv, MLB.com. Big dub finally for our Milwaukee Brewers in spring training.
Woo!
10-0. See, I told you, it only matters when we win.
Yeah,
Wow, look
that's
at that.
right.
Woo! Have a day, Tyler Black. Let's go. Or we're 1-4 now.
No. Yesterday was the only game that counted.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, as we play catch-up to kick off our Wednesday. Here we go.
Packers.
Gutey said a whole lot of everything, and to his benefit, probably a whole lot of nothing. Although I thought there was a couple nuggets, Josh, that he brought out yesterday that were worth us mentioning as we kick off Let's Play Catch-Up on Inside Wisconsin Sports. First things first, he was asked, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but the hump has been a problem here on Hump Day. How are we going to get over that? Here's Gutey.
Our ability to be more consistent in situational football and finishing off games. A number of our games the past couple of years, we've been up in the games and just not been able to close them out. And our group's got to get to that point, So I think we're on our way there. I really like the guys in our locker room, and I like the makeup of our team. But that's an area that we have to fix.
Yeah, I got to fix it. Do the whole close the game thing, keep the lead. Foot on the gas and not on the brake. I don't know. What other
Any other
things
cliche you can throw out there? Yep.
A lot of crushing moments during the Packers season this year. Those leads, especially late in the season and even late in the game. And then we land where we land, which is on the L side of the column. it kind of made Josh and I wonder, what are some of those crushing moments in sports that we experience? Or maybe if we were to put ourselves in the player's shoes or the coach's shoes, what are some of the more crushing moments we can have in sports? That's one of the questions we have, and I have questions coming up at about 6:25-ish. Stay tuned for that and get your questions and or answers in now. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Crushing. Not being able to keep a lead.
There's always, Wisconsin sports fans are used to having crushing moments. And so not even necessarily just specific moments. Although we'll take those, but just in sports in general, like what are the hardest times to where, oh boy, everything would be a nightmare if this went wrong right now.
And then sometimes it just does.
Yep.
And welcome to Wisconsin.
That's right.
Welcome to Wisconsin. Whoever the Packers draft from the big boy category, we didn't do the math, but apparently the COVID year is coming to graduation ceremonies near you, where the players got an extra year of eligibility based on the COVID season, and then also a red shirt if they so chose. Gutey talked about how it is a camp filled with big old dudes.
The numbers we've seen on our board in specific spots has been way higher, I think, because of the amount of guys that are in their 5th, 6th, or 7th year in college, and specifically with the big guys and their ability to develop and having the time to develop. We've seen just more numbers there, and I think for the next year or so, we'll probably still be in that window, and then I think we'll gradually graduate out of it.
Big old dudes.
Perfect.
That's what we're looking for.
That's what we're looking for.
We could get some of those guys on the offensive line. Yeah, big old dudes.
He talked about that a lot yesterday. He kept bringing up the big boys a lot.
There are plenty in this draft, which is great, by the way, because we don't have a first-round pick. So the fact that there are many to choose from on the offense and or defensive line categories plays well for the Packers, because we didn't have a hope to get one of the top, first-rounders at all, let alone having to draft some of those in the 4, 5, and 6 rounds where we'll have actual picks this year. But thankful for Micah Parsons. That's what we're going to keep telling ourselves anyway. Micah Parsons, grateful for Micah Parsons. Don't pick in the first round. Gutey did talk about that a little bit yesterday.
He was asked about that a little bit.
Well, not only some kid. So at these events, you can just tell there are many a student, at least, or young in the biz, who stood in front of him right in the middle at one of the press conferences. He did 2 yesterday, and said, any regrets about Micah Parsons? I know injuries
he was asked twice. He was asked twice about the decision to go with Micah Parsons and make that trade.
And Gutey looked this kid straight in the face and said, no.
Yeah.
Like if his face could have said no regrets.
Yeah, no. He did it to the kid. He also did it to local media when they brought it up too, saying very happy with what Micah Parsons brought, not only on the field, but to the organization.
So as he peruses the players that are in this year's draft and at the NFL Combine, where he spoke yesterday in Indy, he was asked what his favorite parts of the pre-draft process are. His first one was getting into the room with all of his scouts and actually watching film, and then, well, getting to meet these guys.
And then, quite frankly, coming here and meeting them. We had about 11 interviews last night, and hearing these guys' stories. It's always really kind of an interesting look into the person, and I enjoy that part of it.
I thought that question was interesting, mostly just based on how he started his answer. He didn't just say like, "Oh, good question." He went, "Ooh, that's a good question." And I thought, if Gutey is saying that, like if he puts that "ooh" in there, I was like, I think he legitimately thinks that was a good question, because he gets asked a ton of questions. And so, shout out to whoever that kid was, whatever intern that was asking that one. Good for you.
Gutey said a lot without saying a lot, and I guess that's what we would want as Packers fans, not to play thy hand before the draft. What I loved the most about that question was that he played his hand in regard to getting to know these guys' stories. If you have a conversation with Gutey, he brings up these guys' stories a lot. He gets to know these players on a personal level, and he is a scout at heart. He talked yesterday about how hard it is to scout now that the players are coming out of college very business savvy. for all the reasons that you would expect them to be business savvy. And the one thing that comes with someone's story is the idea of not making things transactional. Can I know you as a person? Can you know me as a person? Can we do this transformational journey that you're about to go on in the NFL together? And so many guys haven't been at colleges long enough for the scouts or even the coaches to get to know them personally. And so they come into the NFL and it's very, very transactional. Interesting, to say the least.
Before we move on to the next one here, I wanted to also point out that one of the biggest stories coming out was his answer to the question of Rich Bisaccia, and was that surprising? And, you know, when he came out and said, I wouldn't say we were expecting it at all. It was, you know, he kind of doubled down on the idea of it wasn't even a conversation of something that could be the end for Rich Bisaccia, which does that not add more question marks to this?
Oh, no, I think it answers all the questions.
For me, it makes me go, okay, so then I'm even more confused on the timing. I'm even more confused on why so many people in the fan base, you and I included, were like, I think you have to move on from Rich Bisaccia. For him to say, yeah, no, we literally this wasn't on our radar at all as a possibility, makes me go, what were you and I looking at? Because clearly it was two completely different, universes here.
Yeah, we talked about that after Gutey's end of season presser and how he saw a lot of improvement in special teams. And you and I went, well, there's something about special teams we don't understand because we only see the big plays that didn't go our way.
He also said Bisaccia, he thought it would be, he stepped down from this role because he had other opportunities. Other opportunities where? Not with special teams in the NFL, because that's what we were waiting for, was if someone else was going to, all the other dominoes had fallen, and then Rich Bisaccia made his decision. I don't know. It still left me in a very confused, I need to see more details on that story.
The only other thing that came out of anything yesterday at the NFL Combine was Ben Johnson running his mouth when he said, what's up with the Packers? And he goes, who likes the Packers? And then Mike Florio kind of pressed in a little bit.
How much of that is leaning fully into your job as Bears coach, and how much of it is how you truly feel?
Yeah, I mean, the Bears and the Packers, they should not like each other. I think it's as simple as that. And I think that's going to make this rivalry, this game, something that people are going to watch here going forward.
Have you talked to Matt LaFleur at all? Because I feel like he gets confused. Like, what did I do? Do you have any relationship with him? Have you heard from him? Has he called you up and he said, what's the deal? Like anything like that?
No, we don't talk.
Okay. Do you want it that way?
I'm good with it.
Has he tried to reach out to you?
No.
Yeah, but whatever. Feelings mutual, bud.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because he kind of answered Florio's question first by saying, me acting this way is good for the rivalry. It's good for the league. He didn't answer it saying like, yeah, I do truthfully hate the Packers, right? Like that's what Florio was looking for an answer. And he didn't give him that. He said like, this is what's best for the rivalry and for the league. But then he follows up to be like, no, I don't talk to that guy. So I think that he truly believes that this is what's best for the Packers and Bears historically and continuing those traditions. And then he just drank the Kool-Aid, bought in, and said, I have no problem hating the Packers. Let's go.
Or even Matt LaFleur. I was on the phone with you the other day, and somebody on I-43 was horribly mad at me.
Yeah.
There was one of those road rage incidents where I didn't know what I did to make him so raged. And it was bad to the point where I just pulled off and went to a Quick Trip and said, screw it. I'm not dealing with this. I mean, slow up, speed down, pin me against. Do you think that's how Matt LaFleur feels? What the hell did I do to this guy?
Yeah, probably. I was going to say, I think that driver was just mad about one of your takes, but, good.
I don't have many. All right, on to the Brewers.
Many. How about that?
Brewers.
10, Athletics, nothing. Finally. Have a day, Tyler Black.
Sorry here.
Big leagues. This one driven to right. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball. And a 2-run home run for Tyler Black.
It's a great swing for Tyler.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to show this spring.
That looked like a breaking ball that stayed up and in on him, and he turned on it. Wow. No doubter that time.
3-2 pitch, runners go. And a line drive back up the middle, a base hit. That'll score at least 2. They'll send Perkins around third. And the throw goes to second base. It's a 3-run single for Tyler Black.
About his day, 5 RBIs. Yikes. Have a day. And we're in the 3rd inning.
2-0, line down the right field line. Another hit for Tyler Black. Scoring is Baду. And Black motors into second base with another RBI hit, this time a double. He's driven in all 6 for the Brewers.
Tyler Black 6, the A's nothing. Wow, what a game.
At that point, it was 6-0 Milwaukee, as they just said. Tyler Black went 3 for 3 with a home run, a double, and 6 RBIs, along with 2 runs scored. In the second, the home run. In the third, the bases clearing 3-run single. In the fifth, the RBI double that we just heard. The only other time the Brewers scored yesterday was on a Cooper Pratt sac fly, a Dylan Hamilton RBI double, and then Jordan Adams had a sac fly in the 9th that made it 10-0. So 6-0, literally, from Tyler Black.
Tyler Black. Yep. Have a day, kid. And yet, that wasn't the main story in regards to the Brewers. The hottest player on this Brewers team right now is whoever's in charge of their social media account.
Seriously.
They continue to put out straight fire. We talked about the Sal Frelick Grand Theft Auto character-esque type promo video. And then yesterday, a video comes out of The Miz throwing straight heat, crushing an apple off of, I believe it was Quinn Priester's head that had everyone talking. Obviously, there's a little bit of editing done. If that was legitimate, I would have questions.
Yeah, Adam McKelvey actually came out with a story and showed the editing suite on the video editing software and what that looked like behind the scenes. But you know what? I got completely stuck on that video. Pause, play, pause. Oh, the ball disappeared there for a 1/10 of a second. I knew it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And listen, as someone who has worked in social media, specifically in regards to sports, these videos, okay, props to the social media team, absolutely, in what they're doing. But these work because the players buy in. Like, this is not just a highlight package video that they're putting together with transitions and blah, blah, blah. They're asking these guys to do that. They're asking Sal, all right, Sal, we're gonna make this video like you're a video game character.
Yeah.
So put your hands out kind of awkwardly. He plays along. He does it, right? They say, hey, we have an idea here about we're going to make it look like the Miz threw 100 miles per hour at the back of Priester's head and knocks an apple off. These guys got to be in. They got to commit to it. And so I just want to point out, also props to the Brewers themselves for buying in to the idea of social media and what these videos can do and just not going, oh, I don't want to do it.
Proof that the right guys are in the locker room that play along and have fun while they do it. All right, off to the Badgers.
Badgers.
At Oregon tonight, or Oregon, depending on how you say it. 10 o'clock Central Time, which means we'll let you know how that goes in the morning. Because there's no chance.
No, come on. Come on. We're going to stay up.
You are.
We're going to watch it.
I am not. This should be a no-brainer game for Bucky. I mean, Oregon is 3-13, 10-17. Really, it should be. I mean, they're 19-8, 11-5 in the Big Ten. These are the games, though, that we get the yips on, and that's the problem. So when I'm saying it's a no-brainer game for Wisconsin, I'm going to say that. This needs to be a no-brainer game for Wisconsin. If they lose tonight, I'll take the blame, and then I'll give it right to them. Because there's no reason we should be losing to Oregon 3-13 in the Big Ten.
No, you're 100% right. And it's still, to me, though, goes back to the point of if they lose this game to Oregon and then, win one of their last two against ranked teams, what changes? What changes in their seeding? I really don't know. Like, I don't think they can fall below a 10 seed.
Anymore? They only have 19 wins. So careful what you wish for. I think they can.
Yeah?
They haven't reached 20 wins yet. And that used to be the number that you needed to even get in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I guess I guess I don't see them losing out, but I don't know. I just feel like right now it's so tight. They're just playing for what seed that is. That's all.
At Oregon tonight, Saturday at Washington, 3:00, which means they're probably staying out there. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the travel schedule, that they're in Oregon today, Washington on Saturday, then home for senior night on the 4th of March next week, and then at number 8, Purdue to close out the season. That's at 3:00 next Saturday on CBS. You know, when CBS starts playing Big Ten games late in the season that they matter. Hopefully for Wisconsin, that one doesn't matter a whole heck of a lot. Although, based on the season, that's one will win.
Yep, true.
The Bucks won.
Bucks.
Sure did.
128-117. Kevin Porter Jr. had 32 points on his bum ankle early in the game. He twisted it on the defensive end of the floor. He actually twisted it on the offensive end. I rewound that. I'm like, I'm not seeing something there. What did he just do? We knew he was nursing an ankle. It actually happened on the offensive side. He had the ball, tried to make a move, didn't work, gave it up, and then kind of just twisted it just a little bit, hobbled down to the defensive end of the court, created a foul so that the clock would stop, and went right to the locker room. And I'm like, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then late in the game, we have a 2-point lead in the 4th, and I turn that on, and boom, we win by 11. What is happening? 39 points in the 4th quarter. That'll get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, if you're watching that game, I think the Bucks were down 10 or more points with like 11 minutes left in the 4th. And then they just go on a few big runs, and KPJ has a game. We'll hear from that in the most electrifying sound. But hey, the tank is dead. Long live the tank. I mean, we're here. That was a big win. That wasn't a win over the Pelicans, right? Like, we're seeing some of these wins against the Pelicans and other teams that are legitimately awful teams and purposefully trying to tank. And this was a good win at home against the 31-28 Miami Heat team. It was a good win.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Marquette.
Yeah.
Winning on the road. Marquette doesn't do that.
No.
Finally did yesterday. 76-60 over Georgetown. A really good win for Marquette. I mean, listen, the season is what it is for them unless something absolutely bonkers happens in the conference tournament. A little bit of a weird moment towards the end of the game, though. I believe it was about a minute-ish left. Chase Ross, one of Marquette's main weapons, makes a reach in and then dislocates his shoulder. Or at least that's the thought. There's been no official diagnosis. However, when they put a towel over one shoulder and walk you off the court, that's them trying to keep eyeballs from going, ew, oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the non-fun moments.
The only other thing in regard to college basketball, and we'll talk about this at 8 o'clock with our guy Doug Gottlieb, everybody in the Horizon League plays today except Green Bay. And that's a big deal for Green Bay because they're 11-8, and there are 3 teams at 11-7 right above them in the rankings based on winning percentage. They are Oakland, who they beat last weekend, Detroit Mercy, who they lost to last weekend, and Robert Morris. Mercy and Morris play each other tonight, Oakland at IU Indy, and then the rest of the league thereafter, as well as Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Crest Center. Josh, tickets are flying.
Good.
For UWGB on Saturday at home for Senior Day.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the opportunity to go, absolutely go. I mean, it's the last one. Make some of at least regular season. Make some noise. Get there, make some noise. So I was curious about that. So the 3 teams that are 11-7, there's no way that all 3 could lose today. Is that correct? Yeah,
2 can.
Yeah, that sucks. It'd be really cool at least to have that option out there, right? That. At the end of the day, they go into Green Bay goes into their game on Saturday tied with those 3 at 11-8.
Could be second, could be 6th. There's a lot cooking this week for the Horizon League in regard to seeding for the conference tournament and whether or not Green Bay can hang on and host one of the tournament games here in Green Bay at the Crest. We'll know a lot more tomorrow night. We'll get Doug's take on it later this morning at 8 o'clock when he joins us, as he does every Wednesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Up next, what is the most crushing moment in sports? What have we experienced as Wisconsin sports fans in a moment that was like, well, that never gonna forget that. That's absolutely crushing. Or if you're a player, have you experienced a crushing moment as a player, like a few players have over the years here in Wisconsin? Luckily for us, not always employed by a Wisconsin sports team. We'll get to that next in the I Have Questions portion. The Nicolay Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Off and running on a hump day, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, parked and ready with Gruber Law. One call, that's all. That's on the guest hotline. I blinked and went down a line. That's hilarious. You ever do that? Reading, blink, wrong line, came back. The studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Happy hump day, Wisconsin. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Coffee! Josh, it is a big day here in Green Bay. It's called Give Big Green Bay. It is generosity amplified, an amazing 24-hour online event that starts today at noon and goes until tomorrow at noon. Each year, there are 50 nonprofits selected to showcase the strength and diversity of our local nonprofit sector here in Green Bay. And this is nuts. There's more than $550,000 in matching funds from the Packers and other generous donors that makes this an absolutely huge event. I'll actually be broadcasting live tomorrow morning from the Johnsonville Tailgate Village out at Lambeau Field in honor of Give Big Green Bay, starting today at noon. To make an impact, head online, givebiggreenbay.org. Excited to be out there. Sounds like we might get to chat with our guy, Aaron Popke, who's in charge of all things communication from the Green Bay Packers, who we heard from yesterday in regard to our ticket conversation. That was nice of him to check in with us.
Yeah, hopefully get some clarification.
Yeah, well, he wondered if we needed any clarity and had any questions. And maybe we'll get to chat with him tomorrow about that very thing.
I'd love it.
Live from Lambeau Field. All right, let's ask some questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it? Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh, my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Jeff from Fox Point out of the gate says, hey, since it's March, can we hold off on Packer talk at least to the end of your Let's Play Catch-Up segment? I'd rather hear you talk about the Brewers or Badgers right now. I'm over the Packers till the draft when I can pay a little bit more attention. I don't care if it's the State's team. It's not NFL season right now. It's spring training and the run to the tournament. Just my 2 cents. Jeff from Fox Point. Jeff, you and I could not agree more. Josh?
Yeah, sorry, bud. Sorry. Unfortunately, the Packers reign supreme. We learned that on Monday. It's Packers. Listen, it's just the order that we go through things. Even if there's not Packers news, and we've done this before, then we hit Packers and we say, not a whole lot happened. But when Brian Gutekunst is at the combine and he's talking to people for 30 minutes and answering questions about a lot of the things that we were looking for answers on, we're going to talk about that.
Jeff, I want you to know I moved it. I went Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, Packers, other. Josh moved it back. It's his fault.
Yep, and it's going to stay there. I look forward to your angry emails.
Here's another question from JB in the 920. I've got a literal... Where do we stand on the guy standing next to you singing the national anthem over the person singing it on the PA? JB says it's annoying, or do we appreciate his patriotism? I don't have an opinion, but I do have an example. When we are at a Friday night football game, my friend Ian, who is very vocally gifted, I want to say that on the front side, dude can sing. Ian takes it to a different level. He does the different, what do you call it? Not tones, but like there's a baritone way of singing it. There's a bass way. He doesn't sing it the melody. He does his part. It's really talented though. Like that's the problem. He's really, really good at it.
But then he should talk to the high school about being the one that gets to have the microphone.
Well, but do you sing along to the national anthem?
Listen, I don't personally. I listen and pay respect, but I don't mind people that do. But don't make it about you. Like if you sing, like still realize the attention's not supposed to be on you. I don't think that people should be belting it out from the stands. I'll put it that way.
Is that not just an appreciation of patriotism? To JB's point?
So if I'm not singing it loud and proud, then I'm not being patriotic? Why stop there?
No. Why do you have an opinion on that person singing loud and proud?
Because I'm saying I think that distracts from the moment. They didn't say, all right, in unison, crowd, let's all sing the national anthem. They said, and now to sing the national anthem, please welcome Trevor Thomas. And they give you the mic and you sing it. And so if you feel the need for you personally to also sing the national anthem, that's fine. But if you're then saying, oh, say in the stands, I'm going, hey, whoa, what is going on? All right. Remember when the guy over the PA said, and now to hear that's where I'm saying now you're making it about you and not about the national anthem anymore.
In sports, sometimes we want it to be about us, and sometimes we do not. The topic of a crushing experience in sports comes up after watching a goalie on Sunday morning give up an overtime goal to lose the gold medal for their country, Canada. Sorry about it. Not sorry. That's a crushing moment to be that dude in that spot, which apparently was the most watched sporting event prior to 9 a.m. Eastern time in U.S. history. Who comes up with this? So that's a crushing moment for that cat. Can you remember a crushing moment of your own, whether you were playing or watching and going, damn, I'm glad I'm not that guy? On the flip side, there's a number of different crushing moments that we could pick as Wisconsin sports fans on the negative side, but there's also some on the positive side. Do you guys remember Yancey Thigpen? Listen to this.
But right now, the Steelers have one more opportunity. It is fourth down. Fourth down for a title and a week at home. O'Donnell, shotgun, throws, has a man, dropped. It is dropped. Yancey Thigpen had it, and he dropped it. It was right in Thigpen's hands. That is a gift for Mike Holmgren and the Packers. Santa Claus is wearing number 82 for Green Bay today.
Audio Beautiful. Courtesy of?
I believe that was Fox. I mean, it's from 1995. I'm sure who the play-by-play were.
That's a gift is the best line in that entire thing.
I mean, it was, though. Like, he was literally wide open.
The 920 just said, I was at that Yancey game. That was absolutely a gift. Are there other examples of when we've been gifted the crushing moment from the other team? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. When I say gifted, I mean it's not always a gift.
Yeah. How about this one?
And the pitch. Hit in the air to right. Deep warning track and gone. Peter Alonso just put New York on top in this one. With a 3-run home run to right field. And just like that, a 2-0 lead is now a 3-2 deficit.
Yikes. I mean, that was a crushing moment for a lot of reasons, right? First of all, it was to end the season. Second of all, it was, Yuke's final call. But that's a perfect example, right? Of if you're a closer in baseball, I feel like you get to be you're in the final call in a lot of cases. It's either because you closed it out and you won the game, or because you blew it and now it's all your fault. We gave you the ball and said, take us home, and you didn't.
That's a crushing moment for sure. Matt Hasselbeck delivered a crushing moment for Seattle in the playoffs with Al Harris taking it to the house. We want the ball and we're going to score.
But that moment is encapsulated more by him being cocky and saying that. If he would have just said, like, we'd like to receive, and then he throws it, we do not talk about that moment, even in Wisconsin, as much as it gets brought up. It's him saying, we want the ball, we're going to score. That's what makes the moment.
What other moments can we think of where either we delivered the crushing blow or unfortunately the crushing blow was delivered to us? The idea comes from the crushing goalie and not being able to stop Team USA in overtime from Sunday morning. USA 2, Canada 1. Nice of those guys to get featured during a particular speech last night. It was really cool to see all the gold medals.
Yeah, that's true. I think of just field goal, the kickers in field goal. All right, we got it here. Kneel down, in the center, line it up perfectly for you, and then they miss, and it's just the camera immediately pans to the kicker of just, oh no. It's just a brutal. That's got to be a crushing moment. I mean, that's what you sign up for, right? Kickers know in that game you get that position, you have to realize and have that mindset of it's going to come down to me at some point. But when you miss, and especially depending on the severity of the game, that can be crushing.
And Mason Crosby delivered many a crushing moment for many other people, not Packer fans, over the years, winning games with his leg instead of going, oh no. When we come back, the most electrifying sound of the day is next on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day.
The most electrifying
On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Seven to shoot. Brian Rollins has got to go to work. A wide open Kevin Porter Jr. checks his feet. Oh my goodness, what a shot! A 30-point game for Kevin Porter Jr. He ties his season high with 32. And his third 30-point game of the season, one of the most impressive wins of the season for Milwaukee. A teardrop against the Miami Heat, 128-117.
Lisa Byington and FanDuel Sports Wisconsin with the call of KPJ and the Bucks beating the Heat is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress, connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Yeah, I mean, it felt nice. Felt good to hear like a game-winning call for the Milwaukee Bucks. Winning is nice. I like winning.
Let's win more, shall we?
Winning is good.
You lost last night, Josh. Somebody brought it up in the I have questions portion of the text messages. There was an event that you were supposed to be at last night. And listen, pause. Our thoughts and prayers with that entire family. I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, so someone brought up that, and I have questions. We asked for questions. They brought it up. They said, hey, what's Josh's plan now? Our plans we brought up for Valentine's Day. I said our plans aren't on Valentine's Day. They're following. This Friday, Steve Martin and Martin Short were supposed to be putting on a show at the Miller High Life Theater in Milwaukee downtown here. And it came out yesterday that the daughter of Martin Short took her own life. And I can't imagine, absolutely crushing for him and his loved ones and their family. And the show has obviously been postponed with no future date set. I mean, that's absolutely what I expected and what should happen. But it's just, take care of your people. We talk about mental health a lot on this show. I think that Trevor and I have both gone through things. And so, it was just last night was a moment where, us as a family, we took it all in and we made sure to appreciate each other. And I encourage all of you listening out there that even if you want to ignore, the stories when they come out, just check up on and take care of the people you love and make sure that they are doing all right, because you never know what someone is going through.
So do you have plans?
No, we do not have plans. The plans are canceled. Who knows? We'll figure something else out.
Was that supposed to be last night or Friday?
It's Friday.
You still have a sitter?
Well, technically yes, but it was we were going through a lot of hoops to get the kids taken care of to make it all happen anyway. But it was going to be worth it because we were going to be able to see these two guys and have this show. So we don't have something else planned. It'll come back at some point. They'll have a remake show. We don't have anything set right now though.
If you were Josh, Nicolay Law, talking text line 414-677-1250, do you make it do you still go do something Friday night, or you just reschedule whenever that show comes back? I mean, Valentine's Day is Valentine's Day, brother. You got to do something, right? That was your plan?
Yeah, well, but it's not like, Valentine's Day is past, and it's not like we didn't do anything, right? Julie just wanted on the day to hang out as a family, and so, we went and got food as a family and still celebrated Valentine's Day. But this was supposed to be like the romantic dinner and a show, and now there's not the show. And I think that if we just went to dinner, all we're going to be focusing on is that we should have been going to a show, and it's going to be kind of a downer. And so we'll probably, who knows what Friday will bring. But as of right now, that's not happening. But the bigger story is why it's not happening. And so I just want to make sure that everyone understands that everyone is going through something that you don't know. I know that's almost becoming cliche to talk about, but it's the truth. And so if you don't want to communicate with your loved ones and the people you know, or even the people you don't, you won't know how badly maybe someone just needs that conversation. So as I mentioned, check up on the people you know and you love, and make sure that everyone's okay.
We're not sure what the next segment's going to hold. I am working behind the scenes over here via email with the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
Aaron Popke might be joining us next.
Oh, okay.
To sit and talk about what it's all about with these Packers season tickets. Yeah, he and I are emailing back and forth as we speak. And he asked if there was any time in the 8 o'clock hour, to which I was like, you ever heard of Doug Gottlieb? We're not even sure if we're going to talk in the 8 o'clock hour, let alone have it.
Yeah, do you want to come on and talk with Doug? You can do that.
So he said, understood, anytime in the 7 o'clock hour, to which I said, well, what about right at 7? So between now and about 7:01 and 37 seconds, we're going to figure out what's in the next segment.
Ooh.
It's the morning mind dump either way.
Yes.
But what are we morning mind dumping about? That is the question. Teaser. Here's the crazy part. We don't even know.
Yeah.
We'll let you know in
We'll
about
figure
6
it out
minutes.
together, folks.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. The morning mind dump is next. That much we know. Stay here.
It's time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by the Milwaukee Area Napa Auto Care Association. Sunny conditions today with a high of 30 degrees. It's currently 24 degrees here in Milwaukee.
I'm an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
This one driven to right. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball. And a 2-run home run for Tyler Black.
It's a great swing for Tyler.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to show this spring.
That looked like a breaking ball that stayed up and in on him, and he turned on it. Wow. No doubter that time.
3-2 pitch, runners go. And a line drive back up the middle, a base hit. That'll score at least 2. They'll send Perkins around third. And the throw goes to second base. It's a 3-run single for Tyler Black.
About his day, 5 RBIs. Yikes. Have a day. And we're in the third inning.
2-0, line down the right field line. Another hit for Tyler Black. Scoring is Badu. And Black motors into second base with another RBI hit, this time a double. He's driven in all 6 for the Brewers.
Tyler Black 6, the A's nothing. Wow, what a game.
I bring Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minert. Baseball is back. Brewers 10, the A's nada. Have a day, Tyler Black. Audio courtesy of MLB.com. What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio and live on YouTube and Twitter as well. If you want to join us there on the video side, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's get into this. Time for a follow-up to the morning mind up. Here we go.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The morning mind dump is all the things we got to get off our chest and out of our head. And yesterday's morning mind dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports was all about the Green Bay Packers and their announcement that indeed they're continuing with the program of not renewing season tickets based on a plethora of different things. Yesterday, after said segment, I opened up my email and had an email from a friend of Inside Wisconsin, Aaron Popke, the director of public affairs for the Green Bay Packers. And before I opened it, joining us now, by the way, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. Aaron, I was like, oh, God, is Dad mad at us? What did we do? Are we in trouble?
Well, good morning. Good morning, fellas. Thanks for the opportunity to join. And I was listening along and appreciated the information being shared and certainly a discussion, but thought maybe I could come on and speak a bit more and maybe clarify some things.
Loved it. That was great. I really appreciate you reaching out on this. All right. So hopefully you heard yesterday that there are opinion, most certainly, but also a lot of questions. And I think the biggest question that people shared with us yesterday was not only why, but why specifically, and how do the Packers choose what constitutes a non-renewal versus an actual renewal? Is there any clarity there?
Well, I appreciate the question, and really just taking a step back, the focus, and you guys spoke of this a lot, is really the home field advantage. Lambeau Field, as you both know and our fans know, and our record shows, provides a tremendous home field advantage for the team. So we want to certainly maintain that, and where we can, make it even better. So, our fans are a huge part of that. Our season ticket holders are a huge part of that. So we want to maintain that. We want to increase it. And it's about getting more Packers fans in the seats. And what we've done over the last few years is had this effort to put more fans in the seat. And the way we're doing that is we're taking, each year we have our season ticket holders, and it is a year-by-year process. These tickets are revocable, those types of things. So when you have a season ticket, that is not yours. That's the team's, and it gets issued every year, and you pay for them and you're able to use them. If we want to emphasize that our season ticket holders should be using their tickets. And if the sole reason you are a season ticket holder is to sell those tickets, then you shouldn't be a season ticket holder. So that's the non-renewal process. We have data that allows us to see how the tickets are being used, and they're intended to be used by the season ticket holder. That person, their family, their friends, their coworkers, their business associates, that Packer group of people that our ticket holders have that go to the games together and make arrangements to use the tickets throughout the season. And when we see that they're not being used with that intent, that's when we do not renew them. And then we'll most of those tickets we use for the season ticket waiting list. And you may have seen in some of the stories that were done over the last few years, we've got a few thousand tickets that became available through this process. And we've brought on more than 1,000 new season ticket holders who, of course, have been waiting for decades to become a season ticket holder and go to the games. So that's how this process works.
Aaron, I really appreciate you coming on, because I had a ton of questions after this. And one of the biggest was just about the guidelines, right? If I'm a season ticket holder and and maybe I can't make it to every game, but I don't know when I'm breaking the rules. There's this gray area between, okay, so if I'm, giving the tickets to a game to my children and they're going, or to, as you mentioned, a coworker or a friend, or if I can't make one, so I am selling them. What is the guidelines of when I'm in trouble and when I'm not in the Packers' eyes?
Well, I think the way you described it right there are the guidelines. So, and even right in the policy, it says the ticket holder, their family, their friends, their business associates, that group of people. And we hear these stories each and every season. You've heard them. You've participated in them. I mean, the idea is we want Packers fans in those seats. So when you're a season ticket holder, you've got your normal use of them. And we hear from families who divvy them up each year, whether it's your schedule conflicts. I myself am a third generation season ticket holder. My grandparents had them at Old City Stadium, and our family's had them since then. And I've got brothers and family members, friends, cousins, those sorts of things. And the schedule comes out and we make plans to use them. And what you described is kind of that too. And that's exactly what we're talking about. If you can't make the game in your usual group, do your best to get them in the hands of Packers fans, your network or whatnot. And we also have the ability to sell them on the secondary market. Ticket Exchange is one that we work with, and we recommend for those times that you cannot go to the game yourself with your usual group, or you're not getting them directly into the hands of Packers fans, that we have that safe, convenient way to post them for resale. And that is down the list of things that we think, that list that you should follow as the schedule comes out and you make your plans for the season.
Aaron Popke, the Green Bay Packers Director of Public Affairs, joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, talking about the whole season ticket renewal, or in some cases, non-renewal policy. So when these situations come up, Aaron, there's a bunch of follow-up questions from what you just said, but the main one I think is about handing them down from generation to generation. Is it true that you can hand it down once and then it has to get turned back into the Packers, or how does that work?
You can transfer tickets within your family. So if that's
forever,
yes. If that's okay. Like I said, I'm a third generation. So it was my grandparents to my parents and now to me and my brothers that use them. And like I said, other family members and Packers fans and those types of things. So that is part of the policy, that you can have it within your family. And for us, that's the intent of those tickets. These are Packers fans who are using them. That's our focus. Again, the intent is to use them, get them in the hands of Packers fans, those types of things.
Aaron, not to talk in circles here, but I kind of want to go back to what I was talking about with this gray area of if I can't, you said like selling them to Packers fans. Okay, well, if I'm selling them on Ticketmaster or however I'm doing it, especially with them being digital, right? So I'm not even, since there aren't paper tickets, I can't even go up to a Packer fan and go, hey, this guy's wearing, a Jordan Love jersey. I know he's a Packer fan. Hey, here are the tickets. I'm selling them online. I can't guarantee that those are going to the fans that you want them to. I still feel like there's this gray area around when the Packers are making the decision that you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. How can a Packers fan that has season tickets make sure that if they are selling the tickets or if they are, giving the tickets away or whatever, they could be, let's say, donating them to a charity? But they don't know who's going to end up in those, but they're doing it for a good cause. What are the guidelines here beyond just we want Packers fans in the seats?
Well, our policy is these last few years, and you may have seen this too, we are taking those tickets or those ticket holders who are repeatedly reselling them. So yes, the platform you described, the donations are still a possibility too. And when they go to, and what we're saying is those are down the list of things that we're advising to do. Everything you just said, try and get them in the hands of Packer fans, friends, family, your network, those sorts of things. You transfer them, they're being used. And then there's that possibility where you could post them for resale on our partner ticket exchange with Ticketmaster. And yes, when they go to that platform and the other ones you described, yes, we can't guarantee that Packers fans are buying them. And that's part of it. We understand that. That's why our focus is those other things first, because then and if not, you've got that platform, and that's a partner of ours, and that's a way to do it too. And we speak too of the great experience that we have at Lambeau. We know visiting team fans enjoy that. It's a bucket list. We're proud of that. Our fans are proud of being good hosts, those types of things. We would love for those numbers to be in the hundreds, not the thousands, that type of thing. So when you hit those platforms, correct, we don't know that who's buying them, but that is part of the process. But we're just saying, hey, have that be lower in your process. But what we're really doing is emphasizing using those tickets. And when we see that someone is 100% selling them or repeatedly selling them, whether that's online or, if you're transferring repeatedly to others who sell them or brokers, those types of things, that's what we're talking about here. And we want to emphasize the use of the tickets. Does that clear that up a little bit?
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
Yeah, it's the repeated reselling. If you're a season ticket holder, you should be using the tickets in the ways that we've described. And if you're repeatedly reselling them, or if your sole intent is to get those tickets and then resell them, you shouldn't be a season ticket holder.
Okay, so the word soul intent matters there, right? Aaron Popke, Director of Public Affairs, Green Bay Packers on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. There was a number of different stories in Richard Ryman's article, which I'm 100% certain you saw, Aaron, in regard to some of the things that some fans have come back with, going, man, I was in the Navy for 8.5 years, or my grandparents are frail. And there's two sides to every story. Richard, in his newspaper article in the Green Bay Press-Gazette, noted that there have been times where there's been a revocation, and yet the story is told, the conversation's had, and the Packers reversed that decision. So without giving us a number, how often do you go through that process on the backside?
We do have a process. We have the non-renewal letters that are going out now. So the accounts that have been identified as falling into this category are receiving information as to why they're not being renewed for this season. And there is a process within that they can follow. They can email us with circumstances, and we take a look at it. And out of respect for those situations and what some ticket holders are going through, I won't necessarily get into the details, but we have made exceptions for some of those things that you may have seen, whether it's medical, military, those types of things. I can't speak to each of those specifically, but we feel really confident in the process that we have to take a look at those. And when we do make exceptions, it's for legitimate and compelling reasons.
Aaron, so if someone has their season tickets and they are wanting to get more information, right? Like if even the questions I've asked you, if there's not enough, because we had a ton of people texting in yesterday that go, hey, I can't go to half the games. Is that the cutoff? Is there more? How can they get more clarification to their specific questions or concerns?
Well, one, if you are not being renewed, there is a specific process there that fans will receive that information. The ticket holders themselves will receive that information. And of course, if ticket holders have questions, every year they've got information out to contact about any questions they may have. We're not necessarily looking at a hard and fast number. And what you described, if they can't go to half the games, they're working with their family to divvy up the tickets. And those are some of those fun stories we hear every year. I'm a third generation season ticket holder, and with my siblings, we make plans for the games. The schedule comes out in May. I control the tickets. I get the first choice. And then my siblings, get the other games, and we split it up that way. So what you described is something that happens every year. I can't go to half the games, so my siblings use them, my friends use them, neighbors, that sort of thing. I mean, again, we're encouraging people to use the tickets. We totally understand that people have a plan each and every season how to divvy up the tickets, and that's part of the the great lore that we have with season tickets. So that's really our focus. We're talking more about those who get them every year and they repeatedly sell them, whether it's online or through the platforms, or they're transferring them to brokers and they're not using them. If there's a plan to use them the way you just described, that goes on each and every season. We're talking about the ones who repeatedly simply resell them. It's probably a situation where you shouldn't be a season ticket holder anymore.
Aaron, I appreciate you reaching out to me to jump on and talk about this. The easy thing would just be to put out the statement and move on. And you don't do that. You actually go, okay, hold on. Let's see if we can't have a conversation and provide some clarity in a situation that's simply gray. Not everything in life can be black and white, especially with this. And so the opinions are abound, as you would expect. And this is a gray situation. But I think the message is, if you have season tickets, do everything you can to A, go to the game yourself, or B, if not, sell them to friends and family that are Packers fans. And the whole idea is home field advantage. Last one, and then we got to let you go. Actually, I have like 1.5, but last one about the Packers. Then I want to ask you real quick about Give Big Green Bay that kicks off today at noon, to make sure that everybody knows the Packers' impact on that. One person said yesterday, it's awfully convenient that the Packers want us to keep our tickets, yet love that we're the best traveled team in the NFL and we fill everybody else's stadium. Does it really just come down to that, Aaron? Is it about home field advantage and making sure that Lambeau Field and our players have the ability to have the advantage that we take away from other teams in the NFL? Because there's a lot of people talking about money. And last I checked, the Packers don't need more money. This is not about money. This is about home field advantage. Is that true?
Well, tickets, from a revenue standpoint, tickets are a very crucial piece of the overall revenue picture. So, we're very intentional on our pricing, and I think you see that every year. We shoot for the middle of the NFL average. We've got a top-rated experience. We've got a lot of demand for our tickets, and yet we try and keep our price in the middle to take all that into account. We're sold out for each and every game, so that piece is there. It truly is about the home field advantage. We would love as many green and gold fans in the stadium as possible. I mentioned earlier we've got that great experience for visiting team fans, and we want to continue to do that. But let's keep those number of visiting team fans minimal. So that's part of this effort. And yes, when we go on the road, our fans travel well, whether it's from Green Bay, from Wisconsin going, or people near that other visit, wherever we're playing, those teams fans show up in force, and the tickets and the way they're distributed makes it convenient to be able to do that. We certainly want to see our fans out there too, but across the league, there are more of these types of efforts going on too. So it's the realities of teams wanting to emphasize their home field advantage. So we certainly encourage our fans to still take their opportunities on the road when they can. And at our place, we still have visiting team fans, but let's see if we can decrease those numbers and increase the number of Packers fans. And revenue is certainly important, but that really doesn't factor in this effort. It is more about home field advantage.
Tell us about the Packers' involvement with Give Big Green Bay. It kicks off today at noon. I'll be out there tomorrow morning broadcasting Inside Wisconsin Sports live from the Johnsonville Tailgate Village. There's $550,000 in matching funds from the Packers and other generous donors. Tell us about the community impact part of your role with the Packers, specifically to Give Big Green Bay.
Yeah, thanks for asking. That is something that's been going on for years now, and that money is available. There's 50 organizations, that nonprofits that do tremendous work here in Green Bay and Brown County, and you have the opportunity to learn about them and support them via donations. The Packers Foundation has a matching grant of $250,000. That's part of the 500 plus that you mentioned. So as people donate, that money will be matched to those donations to these wonderful nonprofits with the missions they have. And if you go to givebiggreenbay.com, the information is there to find out more about these organizations and the work they do and how you can support them. So as you said, it starts at noon today, goes through noon tomorrow. Big day of giving, and if people are curious, we encourage them to be curious and learn more about them and support where they think it makes sense for them.
We appreciate it, Aaron. Thanks for reaching out and coming on and helping us just tell more of the story from your side. I mean, there was a lot of fans yesterday that had a lot of takes on what all this meant for season ticket holders and Packers fans. We appreciate you giving us the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say.
Well,
real quick, is it DePier or DePier?
DePier.
Attaboy.
Hey, I'm a born and raised DePier guy, so
let's go.
So
DePier, and then there's West DePier.
Well, that we know,
but there's no DePier.
There's a lot of people that live on the east side that call it DePier. I don't know why. I was trained that way when I first moved here 20 years ago. People text in. You're the only person I've ever heard it called DePier before. Yeah, well, blame my friends. I didn't grow up here. You did. Well, I guess we'll go with DePier. That's fine.
Well, it's good. There's passion about it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, have you seen the river? I think that brings out some passion, I think. All right, Aaron Popke, Director of Public Affairs. I appreciate you, man. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, all right, Aaron. Thanks, guys.
Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Clear as mud.
There's still a little bit of confusion, but definitely some things were answered. There's a ton of texts that came in that I want to get to that we should do on the other side in regards to this and people's opinions on this and talking just about their thoughts, their concerns, questions that were answered and questions that weren't, that I think we should get to.
That's next, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Aaron Popke, Director of Public Affairs, just joined us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Our thanks to him for jumping on. He mentioned it, GiveBigGreenBay.org. The generosity amplified today in the greater Green Bay area from noon today until noon tomorrow. Each year, a group of nonprofits are selected to be showcased and showcase their strength and diversity in Green Bay. More than $550,000 will be matched. So head online, GiveBigGreenBay.org, and learn about the impact in our community. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, live tomorrow morning. One half, anyway, from the Johnsonville Tailgate Village at Lambeau Field for GiveBigGreenBay.org. So let's continue the conversation from the Morning Mind Dump. Again, our thanks to Aaron Popke, the Director of Public Affairs, for reaching out to us. And I want to make sure that that part is clear. The Packers reached out to Josh and I and said, heard you guys talking about it. Let's see if we can't help provide some clarity for fans and or foes alike, meaning not everybody is really on board with what's going on, but the Packers have good reason. And he provided us with a lot of that reason. So we wanted to share your feedback in regard to that reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, I want to start here. Jason in Wind Lake, as the interview was happening, was essentially saying, Josh, he answered the question, like now you're wanting to explain it like you're four. And I went, yeah, because there are a lot of people that have specific situations that they are worried about or have concerns. Literally, the last text that we got coming in here from the 920 said, quote unquote, consistently selling. Is that all 10 games each year? 8, 6, 1? I appreciate Aaron taking this head on today, but as you mentioned, still clear as mud. I don't know that it's necessarily in regards to that. That's why I kept following up with him to try to get more detail. And he did reiterate and come out and say the consistently selling. Yeah, don't sell all of them. It's for the people that are year in and year out, not attending any game. They're just selling all the tickets.
There's something to be said, though, too, about how you sell them. He mentioned that there are spots that are Packer-backed, if you will, like the NFL Ticket Exchange Program, where you can go and list your tickets for sale online there. What they don't like is the sea of Detroit Lion blue or Minnesota Viking purple or a bunch of Bears fans coming up to Lambeau Field. They want those to stay as low as possible. It got to the point in the last few years where our head coach was calling out fans saying, will you stop? I mean, paraphrasing here, will you stop selling your tickets, please? For the love of God, like we need the home field advantage. Now, it's easy for fans to go, well, then win and we'll come more. But there's also a monetary side to this for Packers fans. Tickets aren't cheap. This isn't something that is this is a real sacrifice for a lot of families. And so over the years, many people that I personally know sell some to make the money back that they have invested, because you can get a lot more over face value in regard to selling them. You just can't control who sits in them. And that's dicey, by the way, because you can lose your season tickets, not only for selling them that way, but also for fan conduct. If you accidentally got your tickets purchased by somebody that's a complete jackwagon and they cause a ruckus and get arrested or get booted, there's a high likelihood that the Packers are going to send you one of those non-renewal letters that says, hey, we can't do this. You don't have the right to be in those seats anymore. I think one of the biggest things, though, that he mentioned, and I want to make sure that this is clear because there's a lot of questions about this too, Josh. Family, friends, business associates, that's all good. This has much more to do with how you sell them and not so much who you sell them to. Case in point, let's just say your family has a Lions fan in it, okay? Well, the Packers aren't annoyed that your family used your tickets and there happened to be one of those fans. It's when there are massive amounts of tickets on the open market on all of the secondary platforms, which fans from out of town go and shop on, buy all their tickets, and then the rest is history. Josh, I heard a story last night that there are people that in their family have, and I'm not kidding, dozens and dozens. I'm talking like over 100 tickets in their family in the bowl at Lambeau Field that go back generations.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You can't use 100 tickets in your family. The Packers are saying, timeout. We'll let you keep XYZ number. We'll take the rest back, and we'll take a bunch of people off of the waiting list. That makes sense.
Right.
It's just hard when you've been A, waiting forever and get them taken away, or B, have had them in your family forever and all of a sudden get them taken away. Yet I think we heard that there is no cut and dry process. This is a by case base, and there are dead giveaways. And the dead giveaways are when you put the vast majority of your tickets on resale sites. Remember, if you sell to, I don't know, StubHub, let's just use them as an example. You have to transfer those tickets at some point to someone. That's the trackable piece. And if it's a rando and it doesn't match up the consistency that you've been transferring your tickets to when you sell them, that's when the red flags go up at 1265. And that's the conversation that we just had.
Yeah.
He was very clear that this is not an all or nothing scenario. It's just, let's look at these cases individually and do the right thing for the players on the field.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out, because there are many of you texting in about your specific situations of, okay, well, every December I give whatever home games there are to my daughter. Is this okay? Blah, blah, blah.
Consistently, right?
Of it being, they can track and monitor this, but there is not, you're not getting a red flag popping up if once in a great while you're selling tickets. I mean, I straight up asked him, like, what about if you're just selling tickets? You're not giving them away to people. And it was, yeah, we're looking if this is all you're doing. If we're seeing it to where you're not using your tickets, you're just constantly selling them, then that's the problem. I want to read a few texts here. This one from the 832 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line says, 2 comments on this ticket deal. 1, the Packers are 100% in the right to decide not to renew certain season ticket customers. They can choose to not do business with anyone they want. 2, this policy seems to go against the hometown, small town feel that makes the Packers so unique in pro sports. It's a totally corporate policy. You will certainly have differing opinions on whether this is a good policy or not. I think that's an important piece, because I feel like we're reacting to this the way we are because it's the Packers and because of the way that the Packers are structured and how they do things. It's just different than a different sports franchise organization that isn't as owned by a team. I think that if the Cowboys came out and said this, it wouldn't get as much run as it does being the Green Bay Packers.
But if the Packers stayed that hometown, small town feel and less corporately, they wouldn't be here anymore. The Packers have to stay with the times in terms of revenue and tickets and operation and so on. So this doesn't surprise me. If you lived here in the Green Bay community, the Packers don't have a hometown, small town feel. That's not that building. That's not that
Sure.
G. It is the real deal. It is one of the OGs, and they know it, and they should know it. The Packers are a huge economic impact, not only in this community here in Green Bay, but also statewide and really regionally. I mean, again, what we're talking about here is droves of people coming into Green Bay on the regular from out of town to experience what is Lambeau Field. The message was loud and clear. They would like that to be the hundreds of people and not the thousands of people. Now, that's not realistic, let's be honest, but it's a wish.
The other thing that I think is important to bring up, and a concern for many, some of you texting in here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line about too, is just when they said they have the ability to track and monitor. I mean, Aaron did not shy away from that. They can see it all. And since it's now, a lot of things, I think almost everything in Lambeau Field is cashless. Yeah, there's absolutely a concern for some of what is all being tracked, how it's being tracked beyond just the tickets and things of that nature. I think that is a fair concern. And I think that I will be interested to see how many more of those questions pop up throughout the year on if you're able to see exactly where I listed my tickets, who bought them, what happened to those tickets after I got them, and you can tie that all back to me. What else are you tying to me every time I come back to 1265?
Everything when you use something digital, and you agree to that.
Which you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but you also agree to that. When you download apps, there's a question.
Oh, correct. I mean, this is the legal fine print we all scroll through.
Right.
But if you want to attend a game at Lambeau Field, you have no choice but to agree to their terms through apps, technology, and otherwise. They're getting your information, the data, and whatever they want. And that's not just the Packers. That's the NFL. That's all sports. That's just how it is.
Literally your whole life. Everything about life. You ever speak about something out loud and all of a sudden it pops up on social media? They're listening.
The last thing I'll put here, and I don't have the text in front of me, but there are a few talking about, his Mr. Popke's concerns there about the sea of opposing fans. Number one way to keep those fans out, win football games.
Yeah, kind of though. I mean, at the end of the day, that there's a big dollar sign attached to some of those tickets. I mean, if it's a big game and you can't go, and you see that there are fans coming into town that want to go, and you could get $600 a ticket, I don't know anybody that would rather take, I don't know, a couple hundred less.
Yep.
That's not how that works.
100%.
That's what the Packers are telling us.
But that's the difference between what Aaron said about having it be in the hundreds and the thousands. When Aaron Rodgers went down and he wasn't going to be playing for the rest of the season, a lot more people were willing to get rid of their tickets than when they're contenders, and this is a team you want to watch. Winning changes everything.
It's a Would You Rather Wednesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We'll do that next, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A Would You Rather Wednesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Josh, you can tell I'm hungry because all of my Would You Rathers have to do with food. I was thinking about sports, and then you can tell at the end here I tail off into, nope, just hungry.
It's just hunger. That's all it is. That's fine. I don't mind that.
Would you rather ice cream?
Ooh.
Would you rather a cone or a bowl?
It's a good question. I'm a cone. Give me the cone. I like the cone.
You ever put Nesquik on ice cream?
No.
You do now.
Okay.
You don't want to try that?
Big one for you?
In a bowl. Yeah. My wife taught me that. I was shocked. Shocked.
Did that be the case? All right, I got one for you. Would you rather have an early lunch or a late lunch?
Ooh. So that's weird, right, for you and I, because the early morning hours kind of jack your eating schedule a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I would put lunchtime. Let's say lunchtime is 11 to 2 in terms of you're going to meet someone for a lunch. You're either meeting them early at 11 or late at 2. That's when you're getting to the place to have lunch.
Either way, it is followed by a nap. So I'll go with the late lunch, but that's going to screw my dinner for sure.
And that's exactly why I go early. I'd much rather have an early lunch because then either I'm just holding out for a late dinner, or then if it's an early dinner, I'm not going to be stuffed. I had a late lunch yesterday and I skipped dinner. And then like right before bed, I'm starving and I'm like, I didn't eat. And I'm just like, man, this sucks. Late lunches are the worst.
Yeah, those chocolate-covered pretzels last night right before bed didn't stand a chance at my house. I did the same thing yesterday. Yeah. Would you rather beer, tap or bottle?
A bottle. I'm a huge bottled beer guy. And I will take, for me, it goes bottle, tap, can. That's the order.
I don't have a specific order of, my order is cold. That's it. Miller Lite and cold.
Yeah.
But if I do have a tap beer, can we just all agree that beer is supposed to have head on it, please? Like, don't fill my glass to the tippy top with no head on a beer. It's supposed to have head. Two fingers of head.
Yeah, but also balance. There's balance there. I also don't want it to be half the glass.
I'd take that over a full glass of gas.
I wouldn't. No way.
Yeah. You know how bloated you get when you don't have head on beer?
I'm very well aware of how bloated I can get. Hey, would you rather, for vacation, vacation edition, would you rather go on a week-long cruise or stay at a 4-day all-inclusive?
I can tell you from firsthand experience that week-long cruises, which are typically all-inclusive, is the way to go. That is game-changing. You go to bed and you wake up in a different city.
There are people, and I've only done one cruise in my life, and I was younger when I did it. There are people that are like, I will never get on a boat. I don't do cruises. Put me at that all-inclusive. I've been fortunate enough with the missus to be able to do multiple all-inclusives. But there's still something about, to your point, of being on that boat. You get to have fun on the boat, and then you wake up, you're in a completely new magical land. You get to experience that. It's an interesting one to me.
You can also really play up the food side of the cruise well. You can send back whatever you want. Told me that when we were on our honeymoon cruise until like day 8. I was like, well, that would have been nice to know. Would you rather, brat edition, kraut or no?
No. Man, no. I'm gonna go no.
You look perplexed though.
I'm not like super picky about it, but I usually don't put it on there. I usually avoid the kraut.
If it's available, I'm in.
You're all about it.
But that changed. That was not always a thing.
Sure.
My older years are branching out a bit.
Definitely seems like something as you get older, you appreciate more.
Yep.
Now I've reached kraut man age. Hey, would you rather go to a Brewers baseball game and be there for first pitch and have to leave before the sausage race, or get there late but stay for the whole game?
How late?
Let's say end of the third.
Late.
It's tough.
It probably means I'm in the parking lot drinking, which could be worse.
I asked this because there's a lot of times, imagine if you would have gotten to that game we went to that we talk about as one of our favorite memories of that NLCS game, or NLDS game, rather, against the Cubs. All the action was in the first 3 innings.
True.
If you got there in the top of the 4th, you missed the whole game.
It probably has to do with the game, though, too. Like, is it a playoff game? I'm in, but don't you dare. No. Gross. I'm not leaving early either. All right, steak. Medium or rarer?
I'm going to get so much flack for this. I'm a medium guy.
Me too.
I'm medium. How dare you? So what, you just like your steaks like a burger? Is that it? You want a cheeseburger? Get that all the time. I'm just like, come on, man. It's just a medium steak. I'm not saying like I want it well done. It's medium. Sometimes I won't even play that game. And I'll just say, like, however the chef thinks, you just make it. Whatever he thinks is best, I'll eat it.
One of my favorite restaurants, the chef finally just had to accept that I order medium. Like
they just hate you. It's like, I hate you, moving on. I had a question. Would you rather eat a brat plain or a hamburger with no cheese? Not cheeseburger. So
can I put stuff on the hamburger? Or the hamburger plain?
So it's brat. So I'll give you ketchup on either. You can put ketchup on a brat or ketchup on a hamburger, but it's a hamburger, not a cheeseburger.
Well, I only put ketchup on brats anyway, unless there's kraut. Then I'll add that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you just said you're a sauerkraut guy.
Well, if it's available, it's not always available. It's not always available.
I can't tell you the last time I had a hamburger. For the record, that's where this came from. If there's not a slice of cheese on that burger, I'm probably looking at something else.
George Webb's. Quick one, Josh.
Yeah.
Ramen, chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Yeah, there's only one answer to that. If you would have said beef, I would have been like, I'd have some beef. We'll see who's got some beef in regards to Doug Gottlieb and how the weekend went and what this weekend looks like for the Green Bay Phoenix. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. DG is next on Inside Wisconsin Sports. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
This one driven to right. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball. And a 2-run home run for Tyler Black.
It's a great swing for Tyler.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to show this spring.
That looked like a breaking ball that stayed up and in on him, and he turned on it. Wow. No doubter that time.
3-2 pitch, runners go. And a line drive back up the middle, a base hit. That'll score at least 2. They'll send Perkins around third. And the throw goes to second base. It's a 3-run single for Tyler Black.
About his day, 5 RBIs. Yikes. Have a day, and we're in the third inning.
2-0, line down the right field line. Another hit for Tyler Black. Scoring is Badu. And Black motors into second base with another RBI hit, this time a double. He's driven in all 6 for the Brewers.
Tyler Black 6, the A's nothing. Wow, what a game.
Audio courtesy of MLB.com. Jeff Levering, Sophia Minert, Bill Schroeder. Baseball is back, and so too is Tyler Black. What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Live on YouTube and Twitter on the video side. And joining us now on said video side and the audio side, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Happy Wednesday, Doug Gottlieb.
Happy Wednesday to you guys.
All right, so not everybody that's listening to this radio station right now across the state of Wisconsin watched your press conference from yesterday. So take us through how the weekend went for you before we kind of move on to what's happening tonight in the Horizon League and this coming weekend. Your Friday night was unlike any other Friday night you've probably ever had before.
As a college basketball coach, yeah, where I'm watching my team play. It's like that. It's almost like the vision people have of being dead, right? Where like life goes on sort of without you. You know, like wait. They need me. Like, no, they really
they can't hear you, Doug. They can't hear you.
Right. Josh totally. That one Josh totally got. That's it.
Yeah. I get, I find one once in a while.
I'm sitting in my hotel room, and it's here's the other thing about that trip. I really like it because this second year in a row we've done it. Just stay in the same hotel for like 5 days, which is not what college basketball usually, except we went to the Virgin Islands, it was like that. But usually 1 night, 2 nights, whatever. And then you're almost like fish. Like third night, you got to get out. So when you're somewhere like 5 nights, like the cleaning lady's name, Betty at the front desk, she winks at you. She's like, he's good for it with the snacks late at night. Anyway, I'm sure somebody had to, I'm like any other fan idiot where I'm yelling at the phone and pacing back and forth at the end of the game. And I do my thing when CJ takes free throws. I was doing the exact same thing I do on the sideline when CJ's shooting free throws. And again, I'm not superstitious, but I'm very stitious. It's a thing that I do. So yeah, that's what I was doing. It's a weird feeling to be when you're the head coach.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, or Sunday rather, right? Then the next game, you're back.
Yeah, and I completely blew it. I just completely. You're like, oh God, Rob,
back to the hotel room.
Welcome back.
Well, listen, if you thought that was bad, a lot of people were mad at you before the games were even decided, because the last time we talked to you, Doug, you said, hey, before we go, so is this it? Is the Wisconsin winter over? This is it, right? It's beautiful out. It's 60 degrees. And both Trevor and I said, no, Doug.
Screwed.
No, it's not. And later that night, the weather reports were, "You're ready for more snow on the horizon." Literally, you didn't get 24 hours out of saying that.
It was that what's that thing from SpongeBob people use, right? A few moments
later.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Yeah, it was. Mother Nature was angry this morning out at the lake. Let me just tell you, it was. It's a little chilly here over by the bay. Definitely chilly.
So what happened on Sunday, man? Why such a great win against Oakland? And then, I mean, Detroit Mercy's in second. Don't get me wrong. They're not, you don't shake a stick at them. Easy. What are you laughing at? I just said, what happened on Sunday? I'm a fan.
They have it was senior night. They have a senior, Orlando Lovejoy, is back from last year. Really talented point guard. And I mean, we couldn't contain him. Couldn't keep him off the free throw line. And then at our end, felt like we got some really good looks. I thought Marcus took a fadeaway with 45 seconds to go that I didn't love. I liked him posting, but he got back to playing away from contact instead of in contact, and felt like he could have drawn a foul or kicked it. We had plenty of time and space. Did get a stop just now and got a layup after a timeout. I did call my timeouts this time, and
I wasn't going to say.
No, like, look, we ran a play that we've practiced, which is like one of the things. Again, you have to. It's just like anything else. You legit have to only grade yourself on process, And I do think, man, could I have taken a timeout on the previous possession? Probably could have. But we were also playing. I wanted to play 2 for 1. And we were down 1 at the time, and we had time to call a play, ran a play because they were at the free throw line a lot. And and again, so when I grade out my process, it's like, okay, it's one thing to call timeout and run a play. The only thing I screwed up is that play requires a cross court pass is the first option.
Okay.
And we almost always have Vuk throw it in because he's 6'9", and I had CJ throw it in, and CJ's got long arms, like he could easily make the pass. But I asked him before, like the play, like, hey, you comfortable making the pass? He's like, not really. And I was like, yeah, but I have to have you in the game, and based upon how the play works, it's a play called winner. It's Brad Stevens' play. You throw it over the defense, and you bring back a shooter because it takes away, because you're always taught ball you man defensively, so it takes that and flips it. But the second option, the kind of escape option, is Justin to the strong side corner, hit it, cut through, and then he drives right off your back, which worked out perfectly. Justin just missed it. Anyway, the point is that I'm just trying to get better for my team, for the university, and for myself as a coach. And I do think like our process is what we were doing. I had one, the last layup, I probably should have had Ramel in the game, but what I had done was I had taken him out of the game because we had the ball on offense. And I thought if we ran something, we scored, I was going to call a timeout, get our defensive lineup in. And again, that's why I pocketed 2 timeouts late. So you're just trying to grade yourself, judge yourself on, did my process make sense? Did I put my kids in the best position I could have to win? And I would say there's a couple of, there's a defensive adjustment I think we should have made. There was a sub or 2 that I should have relied upon defense. Probably should have played LeBron Thomas more because he's a very good on-ball defender for guards, and CJ was not having a great night. And should have looked at a small lineup there. But that's the parts that I need to improve upon. And otherwise, I can't control whether they make or miss layups, but that's what we did, made or miss layups.
Doug, one of my favorite things about being able to talk to you every week is that you worked in both areas of the sports media world and now the coaching world in athletics. The Milwaukee Bucks have been a very frustrating go as of late because I can't decide if they're tanking or not. And tanking is like a huge concern and topic in the NBA that I'm sure, you're aware of those conversations. But it was, at one point, it was, all right, the Bucks are going to tank and try to get a really good draft pick to put someone with Giannis or have them be the new face of the franchise if they trade Giannis, to, all right, now the Bucks aren't tanking, I guess. what are your thoughts overall on tanking in the NBA and where this Bucks team is of if they're tanking, they're not committing to it?
Well, the sad thing about tanking is it works, right? I mean, it just does. And I mean, you look at all of these teams. The Spurs bottomed out for a couple years, right? And I mean, the Houston Astros in baseball, they tanked in I think 2013, right? They were just horrendous for like 2 years there, and then all of a sudden, look at what they've. It looks like the run is over, but look at where they went to, and like we could go through sport by sport. It does work. It's just the NBA. It's more egregious. I don't know. I do think that there's got to be some sort of plan in place for where they're like, are we trying to win? Are we not trying to win? I mean, the tanking stuff is basically all you can do is take out your stars. But you're not telling your other guys not to win. And sometimes those guys can be really competitive and they can just win. And the other thing is like, what do you do when both teams are tanking? It's like our guys stink a little bit better than your guys stink. I think the depressing part was I never got in the NBA even when they were trying to lose games, right? Like I couldn't shoot. So like, hey, why didn't somebody put me in? Give me my dream. My one dream was I just want to play one day in the NBA. That's really all I was kind of into. And, bring me in like, hey, we're trying to lose. Play that kid.
10-day contract to take. I'm your guy. Come on.
Right?
Hit me up.
Right. I mean, we don't have to do purposeful tanking. It's just, I'm that bad. That's what'll happen.
Doug Gottlieb on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Gutey and the Packers brass are down in Indianapolis for the combine. Doug, I have an idea.
Okay.
What if the transfer portal had a combine? What if all of the college coaches were able to look at the transfer portal all at once? Now, I understand there's a lot of kids that are getting paid out of that transfer portal.
They do have those. They had one. I don't know if it was legal. They did have one in San Diego last year. Earl Watson put one on last year. They have JUCO combines later in the year, like here late spring, because JUCO guys, the top ones get gobbled up, and the rest of them just wait for a spot. But it's a great idea. The problem is that, somebody has gotten to enough of these kids that and frankly, coaches will sign guys without them working out, whatever, but where there's some sort of fear of injury, which, I mean, this isn't the NFL. It's not that type of sport. But, Trevor, I don't know if you know this, but when we have guys visit, we don't pull an offer, but we don't really pursue if you don't want to work out here. And there was several, I think, quality players that would have helped us. But, I mean, it's a basketball players play basketball at Green Bay. And, if you're here to like just come in town to check everything out and get the tour and try and negotiate, like that's not what we're about.
Not for you.
So we work them out. We have our own little combine here.
Nice.
Doug, we talked on Monday on the show about UW River Falls head football coach Matt Walker leaving UW River Falls to go to Drake after winning the championship. And there were a few people, and it's looking at the turnaround that you've had with the UWGB program that have said, oh boy, are the Phoenix worried at all about losing Doug Gottlieb? Have you heard any of those rumblings from the faithful in the Phoenix? And if so,
no,
how
that's
do
like
you
the nicest.
put
That's
that
like the
aside?
nicest thing anybody could ever say. Like somebody else might want me, right? Because I don't think most people wanted me here last year based on how we were playing. So, no, I mean, look, there's a very real part of this business where you make a decision at some point in time, how long you're going to stay and if the right call comes. But I mean, we're not anywhere near that conversation from my perspective. I don't see it as being realistic anyway. And my thing is, we're trying to build a sustainable winner, and it's also very hard to tell the kids we want to have the highest retention rate in the league if the coach is looking to bounce to somewhere else. So that's not to say never, but there's not a power 4 or 5 that's going to hire me. I have a hefty buyout. But if people want to get me more money, that would be great. I mean, you want me to play the game and go like, yeah, I really think about X, Y, and Z job. That'd be cool. But no, I mean, I don't think we're there yet in this conversation, to be honest, Josh.
Well, it's your fault anyway, because you guys are playing really well this year. I mean, fifth place, there's 3 teams ahead of you, tied for second, and then Wright State at the top.
Well, last year they were tanking. That's why UWGB was tanking.
We did. That's what we were doing.
It was just a tank. It was just a
got
tank.
Us. You got us. Yep. That's what we did. Anthony Roy was not. He didn't really break his ankle against Santa Barbara. That didn't happen.
No.
And, Marcus didn't get hurt when we were beating Providence at Providence, and he didn't hurt his knee against Cleveland State. And Yonatan didn't get strep throat.
Nope.
He really practiced all year. We weren't on APR probation last year. And
nope.
Anyway,
none of that.
Rudy didn't get a concussion twice or tears oblique. All of those things were complete crap because we were tanking. So we got the number 1 pick in the portal draft. So we did.
Did you? Who'd you pick?
Justin Allen.
Hey. Everybody and their mother in the Horizon League.
Sheldon Williams-Dryden, who was here for 2 practices.
Nice out.
Told a windy and then left.
How much you watching basketball tonight? Everybody in the Horizon League plays, but you.
We're having them back here to watch the Milwaukee Youngstown game, and we do extra shooting. And the women are playing at everybody should come for the women playing at 6:00. So watch the women come in, watch games, and then guys will periodically filter out into the Dick Bennett gym, the practice gym, and get shots up as well. So trying to make kind of a night of it. But I watched a lot of ball last night. Damn, I was on like game 6, and I was like, God, I watched a lot. And then all day. Now we're just looking at prepping for this game, prepping for other games, obviously recruiting as well. And I watched a healthy amount of. I thought I watched a lot of basketball before. I was like, man, I watched a lot of basketball today. So
nice.
I get paid for this. And Josh is going to get me some more money because he thinks I'm some hot commodity.
Hey, people are talking, Doug.
They're talking.
People are talking. They're saying now what happens if UWGB, they go on a run, they make the tournament, they win a game in the tournament on the national stage? Doug's phone's going to ring. What's he going to do? What's going to be his decision?
I don't know. If we get to there, I'll pop on with you guys. We'll have an honest discussion about it.
And we'll probably be popping bottles. We'll be celebrating a hell of a run.
These are good problems to have, right?
Yeah, maybe for you, not for us.
No, they're good problems.
Us getting the NCAA tournament's not good for everybody.
No, I meant no. Don't flip that. I'm saying losing you. Like we got.
Why you guys literally just completely made up some like losing you in some imaginary ceremony and like
we did not. This wasn't us.
Josh just said, okay, what if we're in the NCAA tournament? We're in the NCAA tournament. Like it's the best. I was just talking to my son Hayes. I said, hey, is you going to come to when we go to Indy? He's like, yeah. He's like, what happens if you win in Indy? I go, we go to the NCAA tournament. It's like, for real? I was like, yeah, you do know, like that's. Like,
that's how this works.
And I said, and they first couple rounds are in Oklahoma City. Like that'd be cool. We'd be in Dayton first, but after that, Oklahoma City. That'd be the goal.
So to do that first, you got a big game, last game of the season, and as Trevor mentioned, the 3 teams that are ahead of you in the standings play today. 2 of them face each other. So as much as I'd love it, there's no scenario where all 3 lose. That can't happen.
Well, if Fort Wayne loses tonight to Wright State, then we automatically get the home game Tuesday. And then in terms of standings, I mean, we got to wait. But none of it matters. You just got to go win a game Saturday against a Youngstown team that just they basically play basketball math, where they shoot the highest volume of threes in the league, and they allow the fewest number of threes taken. So you have to make the kind of cognitive decision. Don't get me wrong, you're not turning down layups, but we do need to kick out more and get up a little bit higher volume of threes, but also have to win the possession battle. You got it, because if they're going to take a higher volume of threes, that means they can shoot a lower percentage from the field overall and still beat you. So you got to get to the free throw line. You got to win the rebound battle, and you got to try not lose the math battle with turnovers and extra possessions.
Trevor was mentioning that tickets are already flying for that game. But pack the house.
Yeah, pause on that. Hold on. You want to stay around for one more segment?
Sure. I mean,
all right, let's go to break. Let's take a quick break, and then I want to talk more about those tickets. Plus, give big Green Bay today at noon, and you've got some tricks up your sleeve on Saturday for Rudy. I'm going to press you on that too. You mentioned something, yeah.
Ooh.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Doug Gutey back after the break on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Hey, Trev. What's up?
Start film at 8:30.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we said?
Yes.
Okay. Is my coffee there?
Trevor's not here yet.
Oh, stunner.
Why did you want to get coffee? Smart man.
Mav.
I come bearing gifts.
This is what I said, Coach.
Mav.
Instead of a 5-minute block out to 20 minutes, man, defense 20 minutes. So that's what I said.
Okay. Mav.
He's not down there.
Okay. Throw in. We want our rebounding start. And then let's do. Hey, Grounder. Let's do transition defense. But we'll do it off of the running through stuff dry.
Yeah.
Because we got to sprint back, but also sprint to the 3-point line, not to necessarily just to the rim.
Mav.
And then I want to do.
Transition defense.
Hold on. So start with the rebounding. Then let's get to flow, first cut.
Give Big Green Bay kicks off at noon today. It's a 24-hour online event starting at noon and ending at noon tomorrow. Head to givebiggreenbay.org to learn more. Over $550,000 in matching funds from the Packers and other generous donors. We'll be broadcasting live tomorrow morning from the Johnsonville Tailgate Village. I will. Josh is there in Milwaukee. Maybe Dougie G will join us out at the Johnsonville Tailgate Village tomorrow morning. What the heck? Give me
brats. Are they gonna be brats?
So
do I get
Josh, unmute Doug. Thanks. We had to mute you during the break.
Do I get brats?
Sure.
How are you loading up that brat?
Me? I honestly, I'm lame. I like to taste the brat. I don't love a lot of other stuff on it. I'll eat it plain or I'll eat it with a little mustard, and that's it. You want you want to put some kraut on it, fine. Once a year, you do I did the sauerkraut thing. But if it's a really good brat, I want to taste the brat. And honestly, got to have some very soft, tender bread. I'm you know what the best ones are? Those King's Hawaiian. Oh man, I'm like in a food coma just thinking about it.
Yeah,
actually, somebody. Oh man, I gotta give a shout out, but I'm not at my house. So somebody sent me a bunch of brats, and I randomly made one for lunch the other day in the air fryer. They're like, "Here, Coach, welcome to Wisconsin." They sent me some brats, and I had them in the freezer. It was like 2 weeks ago from Sheboygan. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
Sheboygan, nice.
All
right, Josh. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
Brat
I
Angel.
kind of meant to cut you off there.
No, all good. I was just talking about before the break about obviously a big game at the Crest on this weekend, and Trevor was saying earlier in the show that from what he heard, tickets are already moving, which is great. But there's a reason. There's a lot to celebrate and a lot on the line. This weekend.
So we win, we guarantee ourselves a home game. Also, even if we have a home game at that point, you get a chance to finish, probably tied for second or third, which is really, remarkable. Considering where we were picked and what we did last year, but, stumbled out of the gate with the Robert Morris game. We felt like we kind of gave away. Turns out Robert Morris, who we beat at their place, is pretty good. They're in second place right now. So, but more than anything, I think Preston Rudinger especially deserves an unbelievable send-off. Here's a kid who, born and raised, loves it. I think Lord's High School, where he played, is bringing their team, their marching band, their everything or whatever. He's just a stud kid, and he's the kind of player and person and that I think you want in your community to say, hey, he reps us, right? Like, dude's the best practice player on the team. He's the unquestioned leader. He works incredibly hard. He plays through injuries. Like, you can jump on him, and as a coach, and he takes it. He can kind of ear whisper to you on what guys need confidence, what guys are doing well, kind of being your eyes and ears in the locker room. He's everything. And it's a Saturday at 1:00. Drop your stuff and come and see. It'll be a really good college basketball game. Youngstown State's a really talented team, and I think they play a fun style. They shoot a lot more threes than we shoot, and I think sometimes that's worked against them, but oftentimes recently it's worked for them. But yeah, he's a kid worth representing Green Bay. If I can have 5 of those guys out there at all times, people be proud. And that's really the big thing in college athletics. Do people want us to win? Yeah, hell yeah. But they also want the type of people that Preston Rudiger is, representing their school and representing their, Northeast Wisconsin.
You said in your press conference yesterday that you would not be able to do your job without Preston Rudiger.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because again, he just kind of because of his experience and because of his effort. You can't replicate what real college basketball looks like to guys that haven't done it. It's a different level of speed, quickness, intensity, physicality. And you have to try and translate that in every drill you have. And they don't get it. You can't do it unless you have an example set. and he sets the example in everything he does. He competes in everything he does. So there's that part. And then he was just he's always been a stabilizing force. He gets the recruiting aspect of, hey, he's got to welcome guys in. He understands how he has to lead, and I'll never forget, Ben Tweedy got off the plane from Australia last year, and the next day he's wearing a Jordan Love jersey. And I was like, where'd you get the jersey? He's like, oh, Rudy bought it for me. And I'm like, this is a guy Ben Tweedy, who's competing for minutes with Rudy, right? And he doesn't care. He just wants a team. That's just what he gets. And that's all I want to build. I just think that are you going to win every game? No, but you're going to win more than you should if you have a connected group. And that's the type of glue that he is. Everything sticks to him. So 21 losses in a row, people asked all the time, how'd you get him to play hard and compete at the end of the season when you were that bad and that young? And the answer is, I do think that some of my messaging and how I don't treat them poorly, but I do know how to motivate them and to build them as a team. But I think a gigantic part of it is I have Preston Rudinger and nobody else did.
Yeah, well said. So talking on him, though, I mean, not to steal some of Trevor's thunder, but are you willing to share a little bit of the teases of things that you're putting together?
We got a cool video presentation. We're out to some celebs. Did have an unfortunate cancellation yesterday due to it. I gotta go see Mike, but we'll get huh? I'm not selling that person out. That wouldn't be right.
Well, stuff happens. I didn't. It just that would have been neat to know who was coming.
No.
What about if we just guess and then you blink twice?
No. God.
Oh, that's
if I
great.
wanted an inquisition, I'd get remarried. Okay, I don't think I need.
Hey,
Dr. Love, Doug Gottlieb back in the chair.
Oh God, I love you so
much.
Man. Okay. All right. So Saturday, 1:00. Tickets are moving. So I mean, if you guys got to be there for this. It's the last scheduled home game, but you mentioned it, and maybe this is how we can end it, Doug. There's a chance that you may or may not host a Horizon League tournament.
We're going to host a Horizon League game because by hook or by crook, we're going to win. We're going to win this game. Like this is we're not allowing the idea of losing into your mindset.
Okay, got it. So when you do, it'll be Tuesday night at 6. Is that fair?
I don't know if it's 6 or 7. Show up. You can show up at 6. That way, if it's at 7, you're early.
Oh God.
I don't know. So, but we need you here. We need you here Saturday. It'd be really cool.
So if that's the case, then just put it on your little notepad now, or tell Dobo that we want to talk to you on Tuesday. Can we talk to you on Tuesday morning instead of Wednesday next week, since that'll be the day of the game? And Wednesday, depending on
you're the one who texted me like a minute before you're on air, and you book it. So yeah, I can do it on Tuesday.
Well, good.
Look at Trevor's face.
Yeah, I texted you the night before too.
You did, but then you didn't send the link. You send the link I'm like, it's like 8:00. I'm like, where's my linky? What if I had connection issues,
buddy? It's the same link every week.
Where's my linky? Come on.
Oh,
help him out. Help him out.
He's a Butte Clark.
This is how we know we're friends.
G, what else you got on your chest?
Nothing. You know what? I do have a ton on my chest. Okay, hold on.
First,
middle of the night, last night. Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
So I fell asleep watching ball. My laptop's still open, but I had Paramount on, and somehow Varsity Blues is on.
Yes.
And I love Varsity Blues on a myriad of levels, but the storylines are so bad, so bad. Okay, and like Ali Larder basically playing the exact same character she plays in Landman today, back then when she was a cheerleader. Like, could not be same mannerism, save anything, right? Not a lot of depth to that character, but wait. So the quarterback gets hurt. He's in the hospital going through surgery, and his best friend, the backup, drives her home, and she hits on him on the drive home. Okay. Then when they go to the strip club, they go the night before a football game instead of the night of after the football game? Like that doesn't make any sense. There's no human beings, no quarterback who's going to Brown University be like, hey guys, let's go get lit and go to the strip club the night before a football game. Nobody does that.
Did you
Nobody
say you
does.
were watching this last night?
Like 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, didn't you also say you were watching 6 basketball games last night? How long were you watching the TV?
We're done at like 5:36, and then it was just ball all night. And you get to the late night, that big Big Ten matchup, right? Which is late at night, which is weird. LA schools playing late at night. So yeah, I was. So I fell asleep with that on, and then I thought, and then Paramount's on, and I'm watching this Varsity Blues. I'm like, who wrote this script? This is terrible.
Classic though. It's a classic.
So that's the next business venture for Doug Gottlieb is you can just watch Doug comment on TV shows as he watches them.
I love that. You're probably too young. Mystery Science Theater 3000. Anybody seen that?
Yes.
Right? I mean, how much fun would that be to do? Just make comments about B movies. I make comments about A movies. Like that one is the script is a tragic disaster. There's so many different parts to it that are bad.
You heard it here first.
What's your schedule tomorrow morning?
We have practice at 10.
Okay. So we're live at the Johnsonville Tailgate Vintage tomorrow morning from 6 to 9. Pop out. There's a bunch of radio stations there. We can continue to tell the Green Bay story.
Okay.
You can have a plain brat.
Oh, now we got to have one ready. Great. Plug in the air fryer, I guess.
Brat with no sauce.
Yeah, I love it. I like the actual taste of the brat.
Yeah, I just
I like the Wisconsin old fashioned. But as my friend who's a whiskey maker will tell you, he's like, you can make a Wisconsin old fashioned with any whiskey. So that's if you want to really taste the whiskey, then you have it on the rocks or you have it neat. But same thing with the brat. I like the actual taste of the brat. I'm weird that way.
Okay.
You heard it here first. Maybe you'll hear it tomorrow morning.
Trevor, I need soft buns, though.
Okay, gotta go.
Drop.
Love you.
Drop.
He's out. Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of UW, he literally just left. I need soft buns and then click.
Yep. Thanks for
All
that,
right, Doug Gottlieb, head coach, UWGB men's basketball, joins us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. He's a beaut, Clark. He's a beaut.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. Sometimes you just don't have transitions, Josh.
Yep. We're going to talk to John Kuhn.
Is that or Rami?
No, we got John Kuhn again.
All right. Yay, us.
Yeah.
9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Let's cross over next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you missed any part of today's show, make sure to catch it on the podcast platform of your choice. Search Inside Wisconsin Sports wherever you listen to your favorite pods, or go to wisportsradio.com and catch a full episode by the hour, by the segment, your call, whenever it works best for you. Open up your podcast platform and search Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh and John Kuhn from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. John, earlier we had a great conversation with Aaron Popke from the Green Bay Packers, who was listening to the show yesterday, caught wind of Josh and I having the conversation, and actually reached out to us and said, if there's anything I can do to offer more clarity for you guys, then so be it. And he was available this morning. He jumped on. We continued the conversation. I'm curious. I know you guys had a little bit of a conversation about this yesterday too, but are there questions that we still have, or maybe as a former player, how do you feel about this being, I don't know, the reason I guess is home field advantage, right?
Yeah, kind of. I get it. I mean, to me, this is what the Packers are doing, just to let the fan base know, hey, we don't like the people that get a year's worth of tickets and don't use them. They use them as a commodity or as an asset to make money. This is something that maybe has been passed down in their family, and now that the kids have gotten it from the parents or even from the grandparents, they are now not big aficionados and attending Packers games. So they're using them, they're using them in a way to sell them and make money, and that's a revenue source for them. So the Packers want people to buy tickets, to use the tickets, to come to the football games. However, it's very hard to try and find that gray area of, well, how many games should you come to? How many games are they going to mandate you to come to for the Green Bay Packers? I'm interested on what Aaron Popke said to you about kind of a status quo or an expectation of use for tickets.
Yeah, and you can find it right there on the podcast page, Inside Wisconsin Sports.
Or you can tell me right now, since I'm not going to go back and listen, guys.
Okay, so we specifically asked him this very thing.
Good tease, though, Josh, by the way.
you.
There was no cut and
Give
dry
him the code
answer.
word. Give him the code word, sports.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So there wasn't.
Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
There was no cut and dry answer to what it was all about in regards to how you can use them and how you can't. However, there was one glaring consistency in terms of them talking about this, and it's when you sell them on these third-party websites or ticket brokers that have nothing to do with the NFL ticket exchange that the Packers have with the NFL and Ticketmaster. And that's what they can track. So they can see that your family or your friends or your business acquaintance and the addresses and the I guess the consistency of those people that are a part of that circle. But when you go outside of that circle and sell it to Joe Smith in Detroit, that's when they start to ask questions. And if you do that repeatedly, that's when they yoink them.
Yeah. Did you ask them how many times they've yoinked before?
They did not have a specific number, but it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that they've freed up thousands of spots on the waiting list.
Well, that's great. That's great.
Things.
Brandon's been waiting for over 10 years, so maybe he shorted his wait from 25 more years to 24. That'd be awesome.
Right. You might have that. That's true.
So the other thing that was in the conversation was we travel well. John, this you travel with the team and often go to those Packer everywhere spots. Is that not a weird oxymoron? Don't come here, but we definitely want to go there.
Let me say this. I don't think the Packers are saying this. This has nothing to do with fans coming to Lambeau. The Packers love the fact that Lambeau is a destination that people love coming to because of the stadium. Like, let's not get this twisted. When the Packers schedule comes out, fans are interested to see, do they have a game in Nashville? Do they have a game in Vegas? Do they have a game in Miami or in New Orleans, right? That's what Packer fans are looking for. Maybe Packer fans have a bucket list stadium that they want to go to, like AT&T, because the Packers have never lost down there, and they want to see a game down there at Jerry's World.
Zynga.
It's similar for Green Bay, except they're not coming here for the warm weather. And they're not coming here for the casinos. And they're not coming here for Bourbon Street. They're coming here for Lambeau Field and the experience at Lambeau Field. And the way that it is, and the way that it's always been, is the way fans love coming here because it's a tremendous environment to watch a football game. And our fans are quite accommodating, and so is Lambeau Field. So The Packers don't necessarily want to take away that side of things, but they want to keep people from selling their tickets as an asset.
John, it's a Would You Rather Wednesday here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. And before we get out with you, I wanted to quickly ask, you're going to a Brewers baseball game. Would you rather be in for first pitch but have to leave before the 6th, or get in the 3rd and then stay for the whole game?
I want an option B. I want to go for the first pitch. I like seeing the team take the field, and I like seeing the national anthem. That's what I like at baseball games. I don't always get to be in my seat by that time, but I want to be there by first pitch. So if you're going to make me pick between those two and just those two, I want first pitch. I don't want to miss any excitement. And then, if it's tight by the 6th inning, maybe I lie and stay for the entire game.
Nah. Okay. So that's Would You Rather, but okay. So you'd rather get there early. All right. Interesting.
John, what's coming up today on the show?
Well, Gutey talked yesterday down at the Combine, so all the little ins and outs from his conversation with the beat. And then the NBA, the Bucks are on a roll right now, 7 of 9, and some teams are actively tanking again. Could that help the Bucks? They got a brutal schedule going forward, so it's going to get interesting here down the stretch. But I have a lot of confidence that Giannis and this group with Cam Thomas and Jang, they can get this thing done.
That's coming up 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Stay here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network for that. Stay here at Green Bay. Give biggreenbay.org. It starts today at noon. We'll be out there live tomorrow morning from the Johnsonville Tailgate Village from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., one half of Inside Wisconsin Sports. It's a huge day in the greater Green Bay area. It happens once a year. Give Big Green Bay kicks off at noon today. Over $550,000 in matching funds. You heard it from Aaron Popke earlier. $250,000 of that comes directly from the Green Bay Packers. 50 nonprofits.
Yeah, incredible.
For you to choose from to try to give back to.
Absolutely love it. And love that you're going to be out there, and hopefully we might even see Doug. Doug might stop by, have a plain brat with you, as long as you got them soft buns for him.
Yeah. Click.
That'll be interesting. No, it'll be a lot of fun. You won't want to miss tomorrow's show and what's going on up there in Green Bay.
It is amazing the generosity that people are able to show when given said opportunity. If you go to givebiggreenbay.org, you can see any one of the 50 nonprofits that are involved with this annual initiative. There's going to be a lot of buzz over the next 24 hours in the greater Green Bay area and a huge impact on the community. It starts today at noon. Go to givebiggreenbay.org. John mentioned it. If you text sports to the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250, you will get a link directly back that will take you directly to wisportsradio.com, where you can catch the podcast from today's show or any show previous or in the future. If you missed any part of it, you can engage with that on your own time and our dime, because it doesn't cost a thing.
Yeah, and just there was a lot of great things that happened today. If you missed that interview, as we were talking about, with for the Packers season ticket renewal conversation, or our conversation with Doug Gottlieb today, both huge and great segments.
Our thanks to the Director of Public Affairs of the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Popke, for reaching out to us and asking to help provide some clarity. And, of course, every Wednesday, 8 a.m., our guy, Doug Gottlieb. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We'll see you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.